Hello and welcome to Gen Gym Planet. You might be wondering what's up with the title we have today. So one day, there was a typhoon and I couldn't go out to ride my bike. Then I saw this. This is my small collection of plastic scale model kits, still left unbuilt, that I have collected throughout the years. And seeing this, I said to myself, why don't I start building again? And so here we are. From now on, the Gen Gym Planet will also be including one of my greatest hobbies, aside from folding bike cycling. That is, building plastic model kits or Plamo. So what is Plamo? Plamo is a Japanese abbreviation for plastic models. These are the scale model kits made of plastic which you build and usually paint. Common examples of scale models are tanks, airplanes, and anything you might imagine. And as you may already know, almost all hobbies have specific tools. So today we have Plamo Talk, and we will be looking at a very important tool in scale modeling, an air compressor. In scale modeling, you usually need to paint the plastic parts you build. You can settle with using paint brushes, but using an airbrush can help you paint faster and finish with better results. The only issue with an airbrush is that you need an air compressor to supply pressurized air that will blow a steady stream of atomized paint to your medium. I already have a decent full-sized air compressor which I got several years back, and it is still working great. But most of the time, this setup needs some steps to do before and after using it. Also, obviously this is quite heavy and cumbersome to carry from one place to another. And so I tried looking for some alternatives which I can bring everywhere I want. Presenting the portable, battery-powered airbrush compressor. I personally call this the PortaComp. This particular set I got was one from a couple years ago when it was not yet easily found in online stores, and so it only contains the bare minimum compared to later released sets. This is primarily intended for applying makeup, but with its specifications, it has its place in scale model building. Looking at the instructions manual, we should see its working specifications in terms of the air pressure it can provide. Even on the box, it says 1.2 kg per square centimeter, which is roughly 17 psi, and here in the manual, it says its maximum pressure is 17.4 psi. I usually find 15 to 20 psi to be my sweet spot in terms of pressure, and a constant 70 psi should be more than enough for control. Illustrated here, we see that it comes with a dedicated airbrush and the actual compressor itself. As mentioned before, it doesn't come with a lot of accessories and components, especially an adapter that is very helpful for a lot of purposes, but that can be easily solved later. It comes with a USB charger cable, a small dropper, the compressor, and the airbrush. The airbrush is screwed directly on the compressor, and this is how the air will be supplied to the airbrush. The airbrush itself is single action, meaning you only need to push the trigger to spray paint directly. Here you should hear how loud the compressor is. It is actually not that noisy compared to a full-size compressor, so it is good enough for a portable unit. Just to give a feedback about the included airbrush, out of the box, it is no good. It doesn't perform as good as I want it to be, even after stripping, cleaning, and tuning the airbrush up. Also, when using this configuration, it has very poor ergonomics and can strain your hand and wrist even on short sessions. And after some time, the compressor generates heat, and so having it directly on your hand can cause some discomfort. Note that you can still convert the airbrush to a double action trigger. You just need to find an airbrush valve like this one and screw it on the airbrush. Using a double action airbrush can help you control the amount of paint you spray, like on any other airbrush units you will find all around. The only problem is that the compressor cannot be connected to airbrushes with this type of valve. For this, we will need this adapter. This will enable you to use any airbrush that uses an 1/8" valve that you prefer, especially that the included airbrush can be poor performing. On later releases of this unit, this adapter is already included. But if you will be getting a PortaComp, make sure that the set you will be getting includes this adapter in the box. With this, you are good to go. Setting aside the drawbacks mentioned, the PortaComp can be a good or decent alternative. But here is my recommendation to make the experience of using the PortaComp a better one. You will need a moisture trap filter and a 1/8" male-to-male coupler. Just connect them as shown, and with this, you can now prevent moisture condensation from entering your airbrush, as well as being able to use any 1.5-meter air hose for better ergonomics. I also attach a quick disconnect system so I can easily attach and detach the airbrush from the rest of the system. This can be convenient in a lot of ways, as you will realize. With my setup, I can now use any airbrush I want with the PortaComp to serve any painting session. So with this, we end the very first Plamo Talk here in Gengim Planet. I hope you liked the topic and gave you new information, especially about this tool. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more videos like this, and of course still videos about folding bike cycling. And also, watch out for when I actually build model kits. So with this, build lots and enjoy. Goodbye.